Hello, finishing up some stuff.
Hello, everybody. We are, let me fix that. We are going to start here in a moment. Let me just get the last few finishing touches on things. Okay. All right, so we're just going to hop right into it, everybody.
No music, no nothing. Just raw dog it.
I was about to start, and then Christian started talking. So there we go.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Bye.
Get back in your mod hole.
Get into your hole.
All right, here we go. All right, Nintendogs. That just means me and you, right? We're the last.
We're the last ones. Yeah,
we're the last ones.
Still the last ones. No Nintendog announcement. Yeah,
we did it. That's what we came here to celebrate. No Nintendogs announced again. We stay winning. That was the Nintendo Direct. We just watched it. This is our reaction to it. I was pretty happy with that Direct, Mike. I want to get your initial reaction, and then we can go over some of the bigger things that were talked about at the show.
Yeah, there were a lot of very Jeff and Mike things happening in that Direct.
Yes,
even without like announcing anything really new in terms of big AAA stuff, really, right? Still a lot of stuff that got me excited. Even though, it really did stick mostly to that first half of this year. Like Pikmin 4 was kind of the one thing that extended beyond that, and we knew that. But we didn't get surprise F-Zero, surprise Mario, and yet some very exciting things that a lot of things that we were hoping would happen in the last Direct kind of happened here.
Right, it would have been very helpful if they would have happened last time. Instead, they happened here. It's weird that they didn't happen, but we'll get into all of that. Yeah, I thought it was a good show. You're right. A lot of stuff that I'm very into. A lot of stuff that throughout the last week we were like, hey, it would be cool if they did this, this, and this, and they did almost all those things for the most part. And the reason that I'm sure we're hearing things, but also it's like, well, yeah, it does make sense. They should do that. And to see it all packaged really nicely and just, when they do announce it, this is important to me because I do care about those games sort of across the board. So, yeah, I thought it was a really good Direct. The people who are looking for the next big thing other than Zelda, I think they were pretty much always going to be out of luck. We had some talk about maybe a Mario would be there, but now looking at this Direct, of course it wasn't there. They had Zelda to talk about.
Right, and I guess, there's some weirdness there.
Yes,
I maybe don't want to... Let's start there, because they did end with Zelda, and you were talking man, how much time are they going to devote to Zelda? I remember you said maybe 10 minutes. It was a minute.
Yes.
And we got that trailer, and that trailer was okay. Not nearly like what that equivalent for Breath of the Wild was. It feels like we still have a lot of questions about this game. Basically, my big takeaway from that trailer was Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. Okay,
Yes.
that's all right. I'm kind of into that. Elaborate? And they say no.
Right. So I said they had Zelda to talk about. They did not talk about Zelda. We basically just got a trailer. They said it without saying it. We're going to get a Zelda focused Direct or some sort of showcase, some maybe a Treehouse Live just focused on this game, something along those lines to tell us so much more about this game here in the next month or two, because it is coming out in May. We're in February now. That's 3 to 4 months away. So yeah, they still have a lot to talk about. They still have to explain it. Really, what their job today was put out a trailer that was pretty exciting to get you to pre-order. I think they accomplished that. The pre-orders opened up. The game is $60, by the way.
Really?
Right? Yeah, apparently
it's 60, not 70?
I'm going to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's 60. They did have a
I
special
thought I saw somebody
edition.
say it is 70 after. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll
check right now.
Everyone's saying 70. You're wrong.
No, it's 70. It is 70. Man, okay. Because people were immediately were like, hey, look, it's $60 on GameStop. So I'm like, okay. And then I haven't checked since then. I'm going to check myself.
GameStop would never make a silly mistake.
Yes. Well, then here we are. $70 games
happened.
too. It did happen. I'm still ready to pay for it. You're right. Nuts and bolts is the big takeaway for me as well. I don't know if they're going to.
Don't mind me. I'm buying Metroid Prime right now.
Yeah, sure. Oh man, I got
found out that's available.
It wasn't available. So. I'm gonna get it too. It's the show screeched to a halt. Yeah, we need to hear more. If you are wait, I want to be excited about this, but I'm not. If they haven't won you over yet, I don't blame you. But I was always going to be there day one for this game, so I'm happy. I'm fine. But I don't know. When do you think they come back and tell us more about this game?
there's gonna have to be some kind of a presentation just on this game still coming out where they elaborate a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little underwhelmed. I know you're like, oh, that's fine. That was a trailer, and it felt like it was crescendoing to the part where like the Legend of Zelda theme was gonna play and get really intense, and then the trailer just ended.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess that kind of threw me off a little bit. I was just expecting a bit more from. I mean, look, I still think it's going to be good, but I am still a little bit like, well, this certainly looks like Breath of the Wild. Why did this one take 7 years to make? Should I be worried that they're not talking about it that much? Probably not, but there's still that little bit of self-doubt there. But hey, I'm the guy who was really worried about Fire Emblem Engage and then was playing that at the time to talk about how much I like it, right? So what the fuck do I know?
Yep, and now I'm buying Metroid Prime Remaster for $40. So that's
for $40. So yeah, that was Zelda, Jeff. It happened. Yes. Metroid Prime Remastered, Shadow dropped. Here it is. Now look, Jeff, when we were doing predictions, we didn't want to talk about this that much, but no. I was thinking, I always believed you that there was a plan to release the Metroid Prime Remaster in November. And when it didn't happen, I was like, okay, well, they just pushed it back. Obviously, we also can't talk about this anymore.
Yeah, we can't.
We lost the right.
Yeah, it would just make people mad, and I am not in the mood for it anymore. So, yeah, we didn't talk about it much, but it's like, of course, it's like it just got pushed. I mean, I did say, like, what I heard is it was supposed to come out. It's weird it didn't. But it was probably just pushed a little bit. Well, here it is, pushed a little bit, and Shadow dropped. Literally, I'm buying it literally right this second. What the hell? Why'd they do this to me?
Well, now we get to say that they actually literally did it to spite you.
Yes, it feels that way. It's like I need to find out if there was any other reason, or it was just like, let's fuck with the leakers again. I don't know, but whatever. It's here. It's exciting. It looks good. It has the dual stick controls. And the visuals. Still, I mean, of course, they were always going to hold up. It's Metroid Prime. They're timeless visuals, but it does look like they spruced them up quite a bit. This looks like a big boy remaster, and I'm excited.
I mean, it's one of the best games ever, Jeff.
Yes.
And like, I'm literally giddy that I'm going to get to play this. Yep. Like after the show, I'm gonna go on Twitch and just start playing this. And I even have my fun little GameCube, controller things for
that is fun.
Switch here. It's gonna be really fun. So I'm stoked. I always said that whole weird thing about us having to disfigure ourselves aside when this actually gets announced. It's gonna be exciting. And the Shadow drop, that is fantastic. It's $40 digitally. A physical version is gonna come out on the 22nd. Someone says that it supports pointer control, says Big Fresh. So
they probably never would have taken that out, right? Because this is going to be a remaster of the Wii game, because that already had widescreen in it, right? So they were never going to take that out. Sexy. So yeah, it should have pointer control. Although it's the Wii or the Switch style pointer control, so it's going to be motion instead of actually pointing at the screen. But still, it should work.
Yeah. So I'm very excited. More Metroid. This is great. There's a little bit more Metroid showing up later, too. We'll talk about. No Metroid Prime 4, though. Not really. The only thing, I never expected that. Then when there's that weirdness about it getting delisted from some stores, I was like,
Yeah, I was like totally like hyping myself up for it, knowing that was not necessarily going to be the case. Although I am, I guess, a little surprised that they talk about this game and don't mention Metroid Prime 4, but it worked. It was fine. I mean, the fact that it's a Shadow drop somehow, I think, helps cover that up. It's like, just go play this game. Oh, okay. Like, it's not, they're not asking you to wait for yet another Metroid game. There's just, hey, no, we're putting on a Metroid today. It's like, oh, that works. I can sort of forgive. But yeah, some people on Twitter were like, all right, now what about Metroid Prime 2 and 3? And I've talked about this before. After this, they do plan to do 2 and 3. They just won't be quite as spruced up as this one. This one's getting a lot of attention from Retro, and then they were going to sort of do a general, like, oh, let's just get it ready for the Switch, but we're not going to actually maybe put it out as a big boy remaster.
Do you think 2 and 3 get bundled together?
I wonder. 2 and 3 for $40, maybe that makes sense. I don't know. It's Nintendo. GameCube games getting bundled together to sell them for less money. After those Zelda HD remasters not getting that same thing after so long, after hearing that would happen, I'm like, maybe Nintendo's like rethought that entirely. Maybe they just sell them both for $20, $30 each. I don't know.
They sell them together as a $60 or as a $70.
Yes, yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah, we'll see. But they are working on that too. It's just that those were always going to come later. I don't know exactly when at this point.
speaking of things that have been rumored for a while and we thought would maybe happen like at the end of last year, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance games coming to Nintendo Switch Online. It's even like how we thought with the Game Boy Color stuff being the base subscription service, and then Game Boy Advance being on the expansion pack. So a lot of these games are coming out right now. There's a pretty big dump, a huge dump of these today. For Game Boy, you have Legend of... I saw somebody in chat saying, oh, that's like a weak list. I think this is already a great list, especially for day one. You have,
yeah, go ahead and read the list.
You have Zelda Link's Awakening DX, Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins, Gargoyle's Quest, Game & Watch Gallery 3, Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, Metroid 2, Return of Samus, Wario Land 3, and Kirby's Dream Land. And then both Zelda Oracle games, Pokemon Trading Card Game, and Kirby Tilt and Tumble are announced to be added in the future.
Right, that's pretty good.
That seems fantastic to me.
I'm happy with that. There obviously there's some missing. I like my brain's
Donkey Kong 94 is not there.
Right.
And look, I mean, of course they're not going to have everything right away. They gotta save some stuff for it, but still, for like the first drop, that's great. I mean, I'm so happy just to see the Oracle games are coming, just so I can really bother you about playing.
Yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, I will play them then. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and we don't have like Pokemon Red or Blue, but Pokemon trading card game.
Yeah, trading card game is a totally good call. If the Pokemon games are weird because the Pokemon company's like, well, we wanted to funnel people this way. Trading card game, that's a really good thing to have for people to play because at this point, most people probably haven't played it, and it's a game that holds up from the little I've played of it relatively recently. But then, in the $50 tier, Game Boy Advance, and what are those games in there?
Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3, with those e-reader levels, which is really neat.
That's cool.
Yeah, WarioWare Inc., fantastic. One of our new favorite games, Kururin.
Yeah, irritating stick.
Yeah, we played a ton of this on Arcade Pit, and this is really
fantastic.
fun.
I'm going to play a ton of it on my Switch now.
Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario Luigi Superstar Saga, one of your favorite games, and then one of my favorite games, Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. Like, people can play Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap today. Like, there's, God, that's awesome. That game's so good. And then coming later, Metroid Fusion, Kirby the Amazing Mirror, Fire Emblem, the one that was just called Fire Emblem. I think this is it's either the Blazing Blade or Binding Blade, something like that.
WarioWare.
F-Zero Maximum Velocity, Golden Sun. Like, there's your Golden Sun. There might even be one more, but like it stops scrolling here.
Game Boy Advance games just look so good, man.
They're so good, and like again, like immediately we're getting Minish Cap and Superstar Saga WarioWare. Like, those are three giant heavy hitters. And then, Golden Sun, Metroid Fusion coming like soon. That's incredible. And I'm sure, Zero Mission is going to be on there and some of these other games. I mean, Game Boy Advance rules. It's such a good system.
Yep.
And they even said, games that had multiplayer support should have online functionality, like your Mario Karts and what have you. I'm pretty stoked about this, Jeff. Again, like today, we are going to be able to play just a lot of really good games. I mean, if you never played Wario Land 3, a Game Boy Color game, gosh, that's fantastic. Gargoyle's Quest, I've never actually got to play before. I can try that now.
It's fun from what I played.
Yeah, I'm super down to play Super Mario Land 2 again. I actually replayed Superstar Saga not too long ago. It's been a little bit since Minish Cap. Maybe I'm down for another Minish Cap playthrough. I evangelized about that one quite a bit. And, especially with Nintendo 64 probably drying up for them. I'll be honest, I would rather have Game Boy Advance games than Nintendo 64 games. I generally like those much better.
Right. There's a couple of N64 games that are still yet to come that they've announced, like Excite Bike 64, I think is one. I'm like, yeah, give me that. But Game Boy Advance is overall more exciting at this point, based on what they've already released for N64. So yeah, that was very cool. It was kind of incredible. Like, talk about that all week. Yeah, that could be there. They should do that. They should do that. They should do, and then have that Game Boy pop up.
They actually did.
It's like, man, here we are, and they did it exactly like we said they would. Just like, yeah, you mentioned. And then Advance Wars.
Jeff, thank you for not saying anything about Game Boy and Game Boy Color being the same platform.
I feel like there's plenty of time for that. I feel like we're gonna get into it tonight, and I'm gonna be like, look at all these games together in the same spot.
No,
and trust me, the regular episode. Don't worry.
There is there's a Game Boy Pocket, and Game Boy Color filter for the games. I think they said that's
cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, but as you were getting to here, yes, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp finally has a new release date. And we talked about how this could be one that's shadow dropped. And I was like, I hope they don't, because I'm playing Fire Emblem.
Yep.
And like, I can happily play Fire Emblem and Metroid Prime at the same time. Advance Wars and Fire Emblem would have been a bit much. This is now coming out April 21st, so they better finish up that war over in Ukraine pretty quick, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
But hey, you know what? I'm just glad this is coming out. It still does look fantastic. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, this is one of your big franchises. Like, are you just immediately really excited again? How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm like, let's go. We're gonna have to wait a whole year from when it first got delayed. But well, this is the final time it got delayed. But whatever, it's now officially coming out again. It has a release date. Its pre-orders are back open. Like, here we go. Yeah, I'm ready for this. I'm still really enjoying Fire Emblem Engage. By then, I'll be long done with it. So yeah, go ahead, put it out, and let's make it happen again. I'm not too surprised they didn't shadow drop it because we are pretty close to Fire Emblem Engage, and they have clearly they had other stuff to do that with today. But April's a good time frame. They had a pretty big gap where, yeah, Zelda's coming out in May. There was other stuff, Kirby's coming out soon, maybe some stuff in March, but not much else in April. And then now here's this. Okay, now their schedule's really filled out with things that I care about across the entire first half of the year into July.
A couple things that were rumored happened. Baten Kaitos 1+2 HD remaster. That's pretty cool, except I have like one of them on my GameCube, and now it feels less special. It's like, all right, I probably would actually just play this version.
Yeah, you physical game freaks.
Yeah, Game Freaks. What's Game Freak? Oh, that's the company that makes Pokemon. I'm like, what website was that? Right, never mind. Yeah. But hey, that's neat. We Love Katamari is getting a remaster. Hey, Ghost Trick Phantom Detective.
Yeah,
I talk about how great that game is all the time. No, we did. I don't think anybody knew that was happening.
This is cool.
That game rules. You will like. I think we just talked. I think we talked
about it a couple times over the last couple months, and each time you're like, you would really like that.
It's a very good game. The puzzles are fantastic. It's got a lot of good personality.
Yeah, it seems like it's got style.
It has the best video game dog in gaming. It missiles.
And this is just that DS game again, right? That's what this is.
Yeah, it looks a bit more. It looks prettier. I don't know if it's just like up res or what have you, but it looks nice. I mean, I know our Discord community has been wanting to play this for even like Game Mess, Game Club, and stuff like that. So here's a amazing excuse to this game rules. I'm really happy to see this get a remaster. I don't know if you saw this one leak just a little bit before it started, but there's a new Samba de Amigo coming to Switch. I like Party Central, which is my nickname. I want to be excited, Jeff.
Yes, I know, I get it.
They already tried doing this again on the Wii, and without the maracas, it just doesn't really work. Well, here we are again. Instead of maracas, you're using.
You got to sell us maracas.
The Joy-Cons.
You got to sell.
And
us.
I'm just like,
let us even just dock the Joy-Cons in the maracas. Whatever.
Yeah,
let us do it.
Maracas. The bigger thing here is I need the silly Sega songs. It's one thing to play all these like random Latin and like pop songs. That's fine. I'll play a little Baja Men or whatever. I need to be able to play the theme song from Burning Rangers in like the 5 stupid vocalized Sonic songs from
Did they show anything like
Saturn.
That in this?
I don't think so.
Launch you with 40 songs across genres, which, all right.
Plus DLC, though. Now, in the original Samba de Amigo, a lot of those Sega songs were DLC that you downloaded to your VMU, right?
Whoa.
So, yeah, it was incredible. So I'm hopeful that they can do it because, again, that's kind of a lot of the fun of it for me. We'll see. Pikmin 4 got a release date. All right. Now look, I'm not trying to pick on Sean here, although he's picked on me a little bit recently. He laughed at me when I picked this for the Fantasy Critic League. He's like, you really think that's coming out this year? I was like, yeah, you don't. It's coming out in July, bitch.
I love how petty we are about all of this stuff.
We are so petty.
Yes. I mean, this thing's coming out.
We never forget.
July, yeah. A summer game. I'm like, that sounds so good for this. Pikmin as a summer game is ideal. It's laid back, and yet it's really not a lot of times. But the vibe is laid back. You're in a backyard. That's the backyard of a house, and something about that has always felt so adventurous to me. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids style adventure. Yeah, and this it looks pretty good. It
looks really good.
It looks like Pikmin 3 Deluxe, but that's fine to me. I'm 100% still there for it. I always thought the Pikmin games looked great. It does look a lot like that, but they figured out the loop so hardcore in Pikmin 3 Deluxe that I'm ready for several more of these games. I'm glad we're getting Pikmin 4 still.
Yeah, I was just watching. It's like I should definitely play Pikmin. What am I doing? This looks really good. Speaking of things that we kind of just thought would happen, Octopath Traveler 2 is in fact getting a demo tonight with progress carrying over to the full game February 24th. So more surprisingly, Sea of Stars, which actually got a release date coming out August 29th, also getting a free demo today. Now, which of those demos would you rather play? Sea of Stars or Octopath Traveler 2?
Sea of Stars, because I want to know if I actually like that game as much as I enjoy looking at it. And I really enjoy looking at Octopath Traveler 2. Of course, it is gorgeous. I love HD 2D now to look at it. But I really want to know if Sea of Stars is as fun to play as it seems like it might be.
Yeah, me too. I want to really be excited for that. I like the Messenger a lot. I like the way Sea of Stars looks. So we'll see. Jeff, there was this part in the middle of the Direct where I was getting worried. It was the expansion pass era of the Direct, where it was Fire Emblem Engage, Splatoon 3, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, all just stuff about their expansion passes.
It was the early middle, so there was still hope. But yes, there was a lot.
Now, granted, like the Yoshi's Island track coming to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that looks fantastic. Very excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost kind of upset to learn that Robin isn't just in Fire Emblem Engage. I have to get the expansion pass to get Robin. Robin's like my favorite. He's great, but whatever. Splatoon 3 is getting new single player content, and you can even go back to the kind of hub area from Splatoon 2. It looks like, and one of the things they showed off what I think is the story content for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It showed off somebody who I thought might have been Shulk. I don't know if that's a consensus or that was just me reading into things. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. But yeah, a lot of stuff there. They're obviously kind of going deeper and deeper to this expansion pass model. Oh, Splatoon 1, thank you, Nick. The email from Nintendo said Splatoon 3 or Splatoon 2, and I thought that was wrong, but I wanted...
Wow, they have to let you out of Nintendo jail now.
We'll think. Actually, speaking of Nintendo jail, I think my preview story for Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe has gone up now. For some reason, that was embargoed to 3:30 specific, but that is up now. The big thing there is that, and this was also something that maybe leaked, but there's an epilogue campaign here. So there's kind of an additional single player or multiplayer game mode you can play here now called Magalore's Epilogue or the Magalore Epilogue. Kind of like a Bowser's Fury thing. There's just like a extra little bit to do now, which is neat.
We've got Major Blazers. She's like, I just got home. Oh my fucking god, Metroid! I'm crying.
That's so exciting.
It's
I
actually
like. I'm not somebody who I'm not usually somebody who does cry, but I was like, man, I'm gonna play Metroid Prime tonight, and it's gonna be on my Switch. It's gonna be spiffed up. It's gonna have that.
That game is just
excited.
So special. It's so special.
I can't wait to see what they did about that shadow for Ridley when you get the Phendrana dress for the first time, and he still look really ugly. Man,
right. It was basically just like her model. Yeah. But frozen and then expanded way too much like a JPEG. Yes.
Yeah. It looks really weird. I was like, maybe they're going to fix that.
I always kind of like that, but yes. Did you mention Professor Layton?
No. So I was even writing. So there's a new Professor Layton something. The animation looked incredible. What is this exactly?
Looks really cool. It's just
a new one?
Professor Layton and the New World of Steam. And so far they've just showed Layton. So it's wait.
It is a new one.
Oh, yeah, the last mainline Professor Layton game was released in 2014, so this is just a new one. I am ready to go back to, I was just talking about it. I was playing Layton on my phone. I'm ready to go back. Yeah, give me some more of that. I like those kinds of puzzle games.
I think somebody literally asked us yesterday, do you think they'll do, a Professor Layton compilation or something? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I said, I like those games, but after a while I got over them. Well, that was a long time since I got over them. I might be in the mood for a new one
especially if they're looking that good.
Yeah, because it did. It did look really good, so I'm excited. Do you feel anything for Bayonetta Origins yet?
I feel nothing. No, I feel nothing. I'm just gonna be honest. I feel nothing looking at it. because I'm like, I have Bayonetta 3 still unfinished, really mostly unplayed on my Switch. And if I cared about anything Bayonetta, it would be that first. I really need to be convinced about this Cereza's Origins thing.
All right, Jeff. What was the most exciting thing for you?
I mean, obviously seeing Metroid, and just like realizing it was happening in that moment, and be like, they are actually going to do it, and then getting the feeling that he's going to say it's coming out today, and then actually not getting disappointed because he actually said, and it's out tonight. It's like, whoa, okay, it's all happening. It's just like, God, I can just sit back and sort of be like Admiral Akbar in Return of the Jedi when they finally take down a Super Star Destroyer.
Yeah, I know exactly that expression. Just that exhale.
Just that huge exhale.
In the chair.
Yeah, collapsing.
As thousands of people die. Gosh, yeah, it is just incredible, right? When like that actually does happen. It's like, oh, okay, well, it happened. Here we go. That was good. Games like Game Boy Advance stuff was almost right behind, especially because at first it was just Game Boy. And then when they did say Game Boy Advance also, I was so excited. And like literally seeing, for some reason when I saw, especially when I saw Minish Cap show up, I got excited. Even when I saw the Oracle games, because those games are so good. They're probably like some of the best mainline games that a lot of people haven't played. So it just makes me excited for more people to play that. And they haven't said, but I assume it's going to be pretty easy to replicate the whole Link carryover thing where you sort of just keep your progress from the one game to the other.
So I bet that just works.
I forget how that worked. I forget if it was like a Link cable vault or it was just a password. It might have even just been a password.
Yeah, that's probably
there's
true.
Something to it. Yeah, I'm super happy. Is there anything you're surprised wasn't here?
Nothing in particular. I mean, I think I'm always like a little bit hurt when we don't get a follow up to the old N64, extreme sports games. But I'm never surprised that they're not around. Mostly I'm just like, no, this felt like the right size and the right stuff to stuff in this kind of direct. I'm like, they don't know, they hit all the buttons for me. This is the kind of stuff that I show up to Nintendo for, and they delivered on it. So no, in terms of like leaving stuff out, I'm not surprised Mario wasn't there. I'm not surprised we didn't hear about even like the new Mario like baseball game. It's like, yeah, I mean, Strikers wasn't that long ago. If they want to release that game, they can release it, the beginning of next spring or whatever, for the next start of next baseball season, right around there. We'll see. I mean, but no, I'm not surprised anything was really left out. How about you?
No, not really. I mean, I guess the question here is, do we believe the rumors that they just don't have much for the second half of the year? Or is this setting them up to come out in June, which is, kind of in between Zelda coming out, everyone playing that, and before Pikmin 4 comes out, then they can talk about what people are going to look forward to in the holiday season, right? It's just set them up for that summer time, whether it's directly E3 or not, a summertime direct.
Yeah, I'll just say, okay, there'll be this next summer direct or whenever it is, F-Zero, Wave Race, that Super Mario Super Sluggers game, a new Mario. It's all going to be there.
What's interesting now is if they do want to add another console to NSO, then they are finally going to have to get weird again. I mean, I guess they've done TurboGrafx before, so that's still like one slightly predictable one.
Right, but then they have to get weird. Especially if they want to add one to the $50 tier, right? What could they add to the $50 tier? It's GameCube.
Like something weird, like Sega Master System or Sega Saturn. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Dreamcast they could put in the $50 tier.
Incredible.
Saturn even.
Incredible.
You put Saturn in there?
Yeah, be awesome. Jeff, we've been getting some super chats. Why don't we answer some of these questions?
Yeah, that sounds good. Let me see if I have.
I got them up for you. Don't worry.
Awesome. All right, hit them. Let's do them. Let's
go
through
these.
You,
buddy.
All right.
Tengu Ray says, fellas, as a guy who didn't like Breath of the Wild, I was super excited for Tears of the Kingdom. But to be honest, the reveals and lack of info leave me worried. Am I crazy? I don't think you're crazy. I'm a little surprised that you even really are excited for Tears of the Kingdom if you didn't like Breath of the Wild, because my impression is still very much, this is going to be the direct sequel to Breath of the Wild. It's going to ultimately be a lot like that.
I mean, that's how they announced it, right? The sequel to Breath of the Wild is now in development. It's a sequel to Breath of the Wild. It's not a sequel to the Legend of Zelda series. So I would go ahead and keep waiting. It is not surprising in your case that you are not excited. I think that's completely fair.
Next one here is from Rogers OG. Says, now that Prime Remaster is announced, does that mean Mike has to return Jeff's bag of hair to him? # justice forgot. Look, guys, I don't want
I love this. I love this whole thread about people are like, Mike's holding Jeff's hair against his will.
Yeah, by the way, I haven't had my light on this whole time. Look, I don't want this bag of his disgusting hair. He left it at my friend's house. I wasn't going to just be like, well, that's your problem, friend who barely knows Jeff. So I had to take it home. And now it's here. I don't want it. I want him to come get it.
I'm supposed to come get it.
Yeah, exactly. Next one here is from the Uncharted Wolf. It says, Samba de Amigo is back. 2023, the year of rhythm games. Rhythm Heaven is coming back. Mark my words, baby. God, that'd be nice if Rhythm Heaven came back. What was the first Rhythm Heaven on? Was that DS? There wasn't one for Game Boy Advance, right?
Part of me is like, maybe the Rhythm to Goku series, it predates the DS, but maybe it doesn't. The first one I ever played was on DS, and I loved that game. And then the Wii one was very good, but it always felt like it had a series. So okay, GBA, that's right, because they had like the button press games and not just the touch.
So it's Japan only. So maybe you can like just put that on NSO. Like, how much work could that take to
that would localize? No, that would rule.
Cool.
I think you could almost just play the Japanese version without having to localize it.
I wouldn't even matter much. You're right. Big Fresh 37 says ZF zero chance of happening. That's cute. That's funny. I like that. Nick Turbo says, I can't wait to listen to the sound effect that Tommy Tallarico totally made. That's right. Tommy Tallarico made Metroid Prime with Shigeru Miyamoto.
Hand in hand with Shigeru Miyamoto.
So I wonder if he was involved in this remaster.
Oh, man. I think they would have to get his blessing, right? You can't do anything with Metroid without Tommy Tallarico saying so.
Right. Well, he's just so integral to it. That would be like getting rid of Justin Roiland and still trying to do Rick and Morty.
It would be exactly like that.
Big Fresh 37 says, are you surprised they were able to do Prime when the main creative force for the game left the industry after his successful tenure at Intellivision? Yeah, yes. I mean, they better have got him involved. Is all right? They need Tommy.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna. I was about to buy it. I'm not gonna buy it until I get Tommy's blessing.
Guys, if you don't know what jokes we're making, watch the H Bomber Guy video about the oof sound.
It's required viewing in our community.
It's so good. Kyle Martin says, I never played a Game Boy Advance. What are the must plays? So especially the stuff that's going to be there right away, I think that WarioWare, Superstar Saga, and Minish Cap are definitely the best ones immediately. And then Metroid Fusion, you're going to have to play as soon as that's available. And from everybody in our community, it sounds like Golden Sun is like that too. I'll finally play Golden Sun once it's out on there myself. But lots of good games. Lots of really good games there.
I can't believe it, Mike. It's there. It's downloading. It's there.
I know. It's like Metroid Prime, right?
Yeah,
like I'm literally gonna get on Twitch after this.
That's awesome. That rules.
I can't wait. Next one here is from. Sorry, I lost my thing there now. Okay, from B Traven. Cool direct, but I feel like it is weird that we still don't know the hook for Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, there's something about making vehicle again. There's that nuts and bolts element to it, which is. I mean,
he is standing on something that looks straight ripped out of something I would have made in nuts and bolts. It looks just like it.
It looks like that. It has that vibe to it.
Doesn't that kind of like almost fit with what they were doing with Breath of the Wild? It's like, hey, we're playing around with physics and chemistry, and
yeah, it makes sense.
It fits. I would be into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's funny to say.
That's very funny to say, but it's a good idea, and Nintendo could make it even better.
But like, yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I still want to know. Okay, basically, I had a bunch of questions that weren't answered, and now I have some more ones about what is this about? Mm-hmm. What's this nuts and bolts thing?
What's all doing? This then?
Right. I want their only elaboration to be a tweet that says weapon durability is back, just so people can freak out. I'd be so happy.
We understand that some of you are upset that you didn't get enough information about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So we are happy to announce the weapon durability is back. Thank you. No more questions.
That's incredible. Major Blazer says, I believed Jeff. Also, $80 for Metroid Prime Remaster. Sorry, but how could I not? Is there like a special edition or something? Or is he just being a funny?
Maybe it cost $80 in Australia or something. I don't know.
I'd pay $80 for it.
Yeah, it's one of the best games ever made.
Mm-hmm. William Jones says Game Boy Advance coming is to NSO is a reason for me to upgrade. I could see that. Like, there's a world where maybe I wouldn't have really have cared that much to upgrade to the expansion pack for just Nintendo 64 games. Game Boy Advance, though, that's just more exciting to me, especially because Game Boy Advance games are just going to all immediately work very well on a Nintendo Switch in
Yes.
a way that's not certain with Nintendo 64, both in terms of trying to replicate that controller and in terms of Nintendo 64 emulation.
It's just they're going to look really good. They're going to play really good on there. It's going to be real nice.
Yeah. The only thing that could like ruin the day is input lag, which hopefully isn't an issue.
Right.
Geobite says Jeff Burt has been doubly vindicated. Apologize. Yeah, apologize, everybody. Who are all those people who are mean to you on YouTube today? At least one person was calling for you to be fired, which I thought was very funny.
Oh yeah, that's most days.
Normally I'd agree, but come on. D Jones says nuts and bolts walked, so Zelda Tears of the Kingdom could run. It's incredible. L Grug says unrelated, but Metal Slug Tactics still missing. Man, I have not thought about Metal Slug Tactics, and now like maybe Metal Slug Tactics needs to maneuver around Advance Wars a little bit. Huh?
Yeah, step around it a little bit. And I was gonna be like, oh, isn't that game canceled because the Saudi Arabia invested in SNK, but they invested in Nintendo too, so it's all fucked. Yeah, let's fucking go.
Well, welcome. It's okay to play a Nintendo game, but not okay to play Harry Potter. Then the Uncharted Wolf says Raincode looks sick as well. Yeah, we did talk about this, and I'll be honest, I think I was busy writing during Raincode. What exactly is up with that one, Jeff?
It looks kind of visual novel-y. I'm just not going to be the best person to answer this question. This is this the one that Christian was excited about? Christian, in chat, you were saying something about this. Let me see if I can find it here.
Does it look better or worse than the Tron visual novel?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The Tron visual novel is just weird to me because when you talk about all the things people like about Tron, the narrative is usually not high on the list.
So, Raincode is the one from the Danganronpa people. It must be. That's why people are excited about it. That's why Nick is excited. Yes, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Everyone's been going on about Danganronpa in our community recently. Danganronpa, whatever you say.
Danganronpa.
God dang it, Rompa. Good Morning Games has just said, can't wait for Mike to click that NSO Game Boy title on his Switch, only to see Game Boy Color games included. Look, we know Nintendo's been wrong about this. Okay?
I did not know that.
We get it. We didn't want to clutter up
right side of
the
history.
Screen. Have you played Wario Land 3, though? Because I did play that one very recently. Gosh, it's good.
I haven't played it in a long time, and I never played all the way through. And I just remember always loving the entire concept of, no, these are bad guys. Wario's a bad guy, so you can't kill them. Bad guys can't kill bad guys. You just get caught on fire, and now you can solve puzzles like that. I'm like, oh my God, that's genius. This is such a good direction for a platformer. At a time when it's like we had years and years and years of platformers, it's like, oh man, they're still coming up with new ideas. Wario Land 3 is that game. It's really cool.
Radu Pericol Tagana says Zelda Breath of the Oh God, imagine the frame rate. I'm not gonna lie, Jeff. I was like watching that trailer closely, trying to like be like, all right, drop frames.
Yeah, come on.
Shit. Let's see it.
You
like, do it.
Show me your goddamn frames. I know you don't have them.
It was hard to really get too much of a feel for that.
It looked smooth, but I don't believe it.
Yeah. So yeah, me too. Exactly. That's it for super chats for now. I don't know. It's like, Jeff, like overall, this was like a direct I enjoyed more than most, even though, again, we didn't get those, I suppose, megatons. Although for me, Metroid Prime HD is a megaton. Game Boy
I'm right there with
megaton.
You. I got a personal megaton, a couple of them.
Right, exactly. A lot of things that really matter to me, but nothing in terms of surprise. That's like an F-Zero's back, new Mario. And in terms of announcing new AAA games, not really. Hey, we didn't have to sit through another Mario movie trailer or something.
Yeah, that's right. Nice. Yeah, or Miyamoto being like, Chris Pratt is so dreamy.
Veggie Lasagna just said here, Jeff made my day confirming another Mario baseball is on the way. So,
oh my God. And Wave Race and Excite Bike 65.
65.
It's all happening.
I think Nintendo would ever, man, Nintendo should have at least made one sequel called Blank 65.
I think, yes. I still hold out hope that they will do that one day.
They missed a trick there.
Yep.
Oh, well. I don't know, Jeff, any kind of final thoughts here? We just wanted to kind of get on here and talk a bit.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I think I was excited to come on here and talk, be like, do our small little victory lap about Metroid. Like, that was actually fun to do and come on here. And then, honestly, I just kind of want to go play these games. That's where I'm at. I'm like, that was such a good direct that it makes me want to go get my Switch out and play games. I'm downloading right now. I keep checking to see if Game Boy Advance is available to download on Game Boy and start one of those games. I am ready to go, and that's usually the sign of a good direct for me. And it's like there's multiple reasons to be going doing that. Metroid, Game Boy Advance, and then I can pre-order, Advance Wars, since they're not going to give me a copy early because they're Nintendo and I'm in jail still.
So apparently the NSO stuff is up, people are saying.
All right, well, I'm going to hop into that. So yeah, how about you, Mike? Any other thoughts from you?
I'm just really excited to play some Metroid right now. There is a part of me that feels bad. I hope I don't get totally derailed from Fire Emblem because I am really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
This is exciting. Maybe I'm not going to dive too deep into any of the Game Boy games like right now, but I'm going to play through Metroid Prime again.
I mean, you're going to stream it. Are you going right into it right after this?
I'm going right into it. Here's my Twitch account.
So everyone. Oh, there it is. Yeah, look at Game Boy Advance. Holy shit, that is so cool.
Yeah, Twitch.tv/Tokoto. We're going to be playing Metroid Prime right after this. So,
all right. Well, then
Jeff might even be in the Discord for a little bit while he puts the show together.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit more.
Yes. We'll do. Yes, that sounds right. So come hang out there. Mike, you want to take us home?
Yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody, for this little surprise extra edition of Last of the Nintendogs. Jeff and I will be back tomorrow for Game Mess Decides. Did we ever figure out what we were doing? Normally after Nintendogs, we figure out what we're doing for that.
We'll do a Hot Mess King shit. But I think I was going to say something for after the direct about maybe possibly other thing. But for now, if people want, it's up. The thread's up there. Post your Hot Mess, your King shit, like your King shit of the week, Hot Mess of the week. I don't want to hear your Hogwarts Legacy takes though. So just save those.
I definitely don't want to.
I just straight up will not read them on the show. So you could write them out if you really want, but I'm not going to read them. So, but yeah, Hot Mess King shit, and then we'll talk about that on Thursday, and maybe we'll do a handful of other things. I'll probably come up with some fun games for Mike to play or something. We'll see.
I would like that. Yeah. I love fun games. Yeah. All right, thank you so much, everybody. I know it's going to seem like a quiet outro for you watching live. Hey, go to manscaped.com. Save 20% off. Get free shipping. Use the promo code MESS. You'll enjoy Metroid Prime Remastered so much more if your balls are clean shaven.
If you just take care of your balls, Samus will look at you with more love in her eyes. That's what
If you don't have balls, buy one anyways, please.
Yeah, you can still shave your bits. You shave whatever you got down there. 100%.
Shave whatever you want.
Yeah.
Just shave it.
Just shave it. MESS. That's free shipping, 20% off. Bye, everybody. All right, that's good. I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream, everybody. Goodbye. Catch you next time.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you on Twitch.
Yeah, go to twitch.tv/Tokoto right now.